belongs to Patrick Balfour. He's in Hong Kong and he lent me the key. Now get out!
How strange. I swear she said bye-bye, yet I still see your mouth flapping.
Oh my God, Toy Story, that's it. I love that movie. Oh.
There's only one rule. Are you ready? Ready. There are no rules. Go. Fruit. Tits. Plant. It's the fucking same.
You've got to be more imaginative, you know? Just think outside the box here.
Why aren't you on a diet?
Because I like to eat. Is that such a crime?
I don't give a damn about your personal issues. I just want to fix my daughter.
An ant has no quarrel with a boot.
You humans are so predictable.
Hello, dear Animation Club School audience. We are so happy to see you on our channel, on our new stream on how to make 2D special effects, as known as FX animation, and also get a feedback. Before we start, we'll get you some basic info about this stream, and it will be a two-part stream. First part is today, and in this part, Edward is going to show you a process of creating of 2D FX animation, and on the next stream, like in the next part, the 29th of January, Edward will give feedback to your works you will send us, and all the info about this like little competition we are holding today. Like, you know, you will watch the stream, you'll understand how to create FX animation, you will create your own little piece and send us, and the best works will get feedback, so do your best. And yeah, all the information about the formats of the works you have to submit for this little competition is down below in the description. But yeah, like the format is going to be full HD, like 1920 to 1080 TV Paint file or export in MOV or MP4, and this piece shouldn't be longer than 3 seconds. So not so much work, right? The deadline is the 28th of January till 10 p.m. UTC. I believe it's like 9 p.m. Paris time. So yeah, and let me introduce to you our mentor, Edward Kurchevsky. He is an alumni of Gobelins School of Images, and as well as 2D animator at La Cachette studio and our mentor of animation as well. He was my mentor of animation, and thanks to his help, I got into Gobelins. So you'd better watch the stream very carefully. And today, I'm going to be your host. My name is Sonia Oblaket-Kondrashova, and I studied at Gobelins Colors last year. You can find the links to my YouTube and Instagram in the description as well. So I'm also very happy to see you somewhere. And now let's begin, Edward.
Yes, hello everyone. It's a pleasure to see everyone here. Thanks, Sonia, for introduction. And today we will talk about 2D effects, 2D special effects in animation. It's super large topic in general, and it's very difficult to understand how nature works and to draw it and to make it works, to make it believable in our projects. And but it's very interesting and exciting to put something like as little smoke effects or little fire effects to make your, for example, character animation even better. Me personally, I'm a more character animator than a fix animator. So today we will talk about basics. So everyone will, I hope, understand and can repeat in the next week. And let's begin. I will just talk a little bit about what it is 2D special effects animation, where we can use it, how it looks like, and then I will show my approach and some tips maybe to make your fix animation better. So you may Google search in the internet, for example, FX 2D animation, and you can find some compilations of different amazing artists. Like, for example, here, it's some compilation of it could be random, it could be like an assignment, or could be put from different projects where this person worked. And here you can see different like material, different effects like smoke, fire, liquids, and the most important thing is to make it believable. Yeah, that we will look at this effects and believe that it's real. And effects, just a fix, it's not enough. Sometimes a fix, it's a part of character animation. So that's why today I will show and explain, even if you are a character animator like me, it's good to understand how to approach, how to work with nature. Let's say, basically, you can Google, for example, you can Google examples of 2D animation, 2D FX animation, and find some videos, or you can go like easily to search in a Sakugaboru. You can find some. You can, for example, start with water. It's like a hashtag, and then you can open anything you want, anything that you could find. Even, for example, here I put water, but here it's just a one sequence of water and a lot of fire. And usually when you look at, like when you search in the Sakugabor and smoke as well, here you can find a lot of different effects in a one specific clip. And just don't be afraid to spend some time. And basically, for example, here in the Sakugaboru is a lot of anime, and almost all like every single shot like of Sakuga, there is some effects. So sometimes we can search for lightning or water, and we can find some magic, fire, and everything else. So what you like place to look the references. Yeah, it's to understand what you want to do, because it's the first thing when you want to animate, for example, fire. You have to Google, you have to search for some references. So references from the YouTube, from the Vimeo, some compilations, Sakugaboru, and of course Pinterest. When you go to Pinterest, you can also write 2D animation FX. FX, it's like a shorter version of special effects, and you can find a lot of interesting references. And the best thing about Pinterest, when you open something one, it just drags you for hours and hours, and to find more and more cool examples and references. So it's very nice that here below you can find many more examples. So what I have here, just some fighting scene where like two characters, like on the top is the rough version, and on the below is like final. And you can see how like animators usually in I think in Japan, people like animators who do character animation, they also do, I mean, they work on everything on this shot. So it's like character, background animation, and FX. So if you want to be a really good animator, you have to know how to draw, how to animate, at least some basics of special effects. You can find also some people and cool artists, cool animators who make some tutorials and follow them to understand how to draw, for example, liquid. It's basically what we're gonna do today, like a small tutorial, small like talking about the approach. And of course, after last like recently was released Arcane. It's a 3D animation series, but there is a lot of 2D special effects. Studio Fortiche. It's very well known by their specific style and 2D FX animations. For example, my colleagues, my classmates, or even my teachers from Gobelins, they working or was working in a Fortiche, like a 2D FX animators. So there is a really specific like not task, but specialty in a 2D animation, 2D FX animation. For example, you know and like want to do it. So it's there is in Europe and in the world a lot of places where you can do it, and only this, for example. So here is a lot of, for example, here's some smoke, some lightning, some like a lot of things around. You can see here it's like lightning and special effects of the light here, and gunfire, and some splashes and so on. So it's a lot of things to learn and to put in your animation with the characters, for example, as well. And I suggest you to follow, to search, to Google. And for example, here I get I found some interview with a 2D FX animator from the Fortiche who worked on Arcane. So it could be also very interesting. So just Google it, find like search for that, and like they talk about his path, how he became 2D FX animator. So it could be very interesting. So if you want to learn as well 2D FX animation, I could recommend you 2 books. You can also, I believe, find it in the internet. It's Elemental Magic Volume 1 and Volume 2. Here is a lot of, it's, I believe it's from animators from Disney. They create like a guide book, like Bible of the FX. And here you can find a lot of thoughts, good thoughts about FX, about the nature, about how it works, how to understand that. And that everything is floating. Basically, everything is based on overlaps. So it's very important that you understand overlapping movement from the basics of the animation, because it will be implemented everywhere in the 2D FX animation. And also, I always, when I start to work on FX, I'm searching for references, as I said, in these places where I said, and I kind of build my like reference sheet. And for example, here I created already, it's a huge little bit, I created here just to inspire while I will work today and work on my animation, my FX. So I will look, for example, here, and take something here and then develop and then maybe add something from another piece. So I will look at a lot of information, a lot of references, and create my own from these references. Yeah, so everything what we're creating, basically it's how we understand, how like we take in like reality or someone else work. We passing through our new our filter, like inner filter, and we're creating something new based on our skills and our sensitivity. So I will put it on my second screen, and let's begin. Here I took our mascot from our school, Animation Club.School. It's one of the characters that school creates just to use, for example, in these cases. And I will try to make some effects that this space marine he is doing some effects from his arm, and we will discuss about the process and try to make something interesting. I also put some references, like animation references, in the TV Paint, in my another TV Paint, old one, just to inspire us as well, to get inspiration. Of course, Naruto. It's very nice. And this one. Okay. So let's start. Maybe you have, yes, if you will have some questions, just write it in the chat in YouTube or in the comments. We're gonna talk during this work. Do not have a monologue like 1 hour and a half. So just don't be shy and send some information, some questions. And yes, I will repeat, we will have some small competition. We will take some best of your works next week. And in a week, I will give you a free feedback about your works, about your special effects. And I will help you to create something outstanding as well. All right, okay, I prepared my second screen. So first of all, I have to understand what I want to make. Yeah, I have to imagine the nature of the effects, what I want to do. For example, sometimes I could start with one specific frame, just that will like represent what I want to make. For example, I would make like on one layer that this space marine. I will also make something. I will put the white here. For example, I will draw some fire that he creates from his arm. When I do some, for example, fire, I have to understand the nature of this effects of this this form, right? That fire could be aggressive, could be very rough, and it depends, of course. When you will search the references, could be very also soft fire, very like liquid fire. It's like all effects like water, lightning, and fire could be made in the 10,000s, maybe more different variations. So you have to create or pick a specific style of your own. I will just do how my hand will draw.
So Edward, if we have questions in the chat, should I like ask you straight?
Yeah, sure.
Right? So right now we have a couple of questions.
Yes.
And Rosie Zaharieva, I'm so sorry guys if I pronounce your name incorrectly. It's sometimes different to very difficult to read it correctly. Okay, so do you recommend TV Paint? Because I started with Toon Boom Harmony. Is it also okay?
It's definitely okay. When people ask me about the software, I'm I'm explaining why I'm using TV Paint. It's like it's 100% like raster drawings. It's like in the Photoshop. It's like a picture. When you take a photo, it's a raster. If you zoom in, zoom out, your picture is like losing some quality. But raster, it's the most closed style to drawing on a paper. And I know that in TV Paint, for example, some studios where I want to work use TV Paint as well, so my skills in TV Paint will be very useful in these studios. Not always is like that. If I will get in some project where people use like a Toon Boom or Flash and animate, I will learn this software as well, because I prefer to not escape some cool project, right? But for me, TV Paint is like it just closest to my personality and my I would say style of the work. But if you know that you want to go in, for example, some series project, right? It's like TV series, and TV series, most like a lot of them use Animate or Toon Boom. Of course, you can animate in a like raster as well, like frame by frame drawing animation in Toon Boom. But the I would say the main idea of using Toon Boom is to make a combination between vector cutout animation and traditional 2D animation. So it depends of the decisions, what you want to make, what you want to do in the future, and personality as well. But Toon Boom it's also very good software.
There is also the second question by Diana Popper. Is this a stop motion animation, or how you did animate it?
What do you mean this? I didn't show anything from me. I showed references, but all these references was probably made. I mean, yes, like almost 100% in like not frame by frame animation, like traditional animation. For example, I did here just one frame of the fire, just to understand the nature of this, how it will look like. Yeah, like I should imagine in the beginning how this movement will or form will look like. And now I just want to show everything what I will do. I mean, like all these effects, and then I will start from the beginning and do it frame by frame, because usually special effects, they are made straight ahead. It means frame by frame with no planning, like in the future where you want to put your like frames. Because if you start to plan some animations, some poses, your fluidity of the special effects could be not that interesting. It's better to understand from the beginning the nature, how it looks like, how it works, the timing, and have it in your head, and then do it frame by frame. And in this case, the best ideas could come, I think. Every different, every animator has their own like his own approach, but I believe that straight ahead animation in special effects, it's the most fluid and the most I would say interesting, but it depends, of course, of the tasks always.
Okay, we have a lot of questions, so
yes, let's
for
go.
now I think you can just continue working, because if we are just going to answer the questions, we will never finish this.
Sometimes you can ask. It's fine.
Okay, so we will just collect these questions and then ask them throughout the stream.
Yeah. For example, I want to add some lightning, maybe effects here. So like again, I'm putting this effects now just to explain and show you my idea in the beginning. Maybe one here as well. And so we have fire, lightning. Maybe we could, I don't know if we would have water, but smoke could be nice. Okay, let's start with smoke like in the end, because I want to concentrate on the fire, and the fire, because it's my main effects now, it will dictate what should happen around it. Yeah, when I use, for example, several effects in the same time, I would suggest you to not overload your animation. You have to always think what is the main thing, what the like, because audience should look at something first, and something like should support and not be in a conflict. So everything should be balanced basically. So I put it this idea here, and now I will start from the beginning, from the scratch. So I don't want anything here, no effects. I want to have just silence. It's good to start from like to give some small, like a little bit of time to the audience. Do not start right away from the first frame. It's nice to have like half a second to show the audience, okay, here is a guy and he has a arm in front of him, and now something gonna happen. Then I initiate something, right? I start, for example, some sparkle. Maybe this sparkle could be actually from the lightning. So here I'm taking my reference of the lightning. Okay. So lightning is very fast, so I can do it on once with a very fast. Yeah, sorry if I'm not like explaining what is a once, what are the tools. It's very beginning, it's very basic things. It's like in the 1 second we have 24 frames. It's our normal timing, and now to create something very fast, I'm doing frame by frame, because usually, I mean, like here it's no gap. It's like here, for example, here and here, it's no gap. It's just pure frame by frame. Like usually we have some numbers here, like 9, 13, 2, and so on. So we're planning some time. All right. So here I will just like talk about the movement, about the effects and the approach. Okay, to not explain like the basics of like of the what is 9, 2, and what's the timing it is like in general. So I did my previous lessons, my previous master classes. You can watch it in the links. I hope it has some on the YouTube. You can see some links below from my previous streams. So, for example, here I have some sparkles, and now I want to make some animation. So to make continuity of this, I have to make like another frame that will continue this this movement. Since lightning is super fast, I will also break it because it's changing a lot. So it has some continuity, but also has some change. Okay, let's check how it looks like. Okay, and here I will stop it. So I'm not sure how it looks like it's fluid or not, but it has some sparkle over here. I may change it in the future just to establish some things, some beginning. Like I did this one just to show that the electricity is going around his arm, not only like throwing it forward. Then I have to think about the rhythm as well. Now I want to start with the fire. I can start with a small candle fire, something like that. And now I'm doing it on tooth. Okay, this is lightning blue, and this is gonna be fire red. I will create some frames to have it already. Now I know that fire should be slightly slower than lightning, so I'm putting here everything on tooth. But it's just because it's my plan. It's my idea. I researched some references. I checked them, and I know that I would do that. Yeah, it's just not like random decision. Like here is once, here is a tooth. It's because I decided that it's my decision. It could be once as well, but in my example here it will be tooth. But it could also change. You can also see that I'm flipping a lot just to understand the better volume. So basically, look, this volume that I created here, it's moving forward. It becoming this volume. How come? It has some continuity in the silhouette. For example, this arc this arc and this silhouette is moving here, here and here. And also this one and this one is here. So our eye is tracking that, okay, this is the same volume. So it's making kind of moving forward. And now I want to finish it. It's just a small, like a splash. And you can see I'm tracking everything, all these volumes and particles. And everything, it's very important to have like different rhythm. For example, some parts are moving faster, some parts moving slower, and some parts like disappearing later, some parts like appearing earlier. It's also very important to have different rhythm.
Oh, Edward, I have a question. I noticed that you are not using the light table.
Yeah.
So would you recommend to work more with flipping the animation, like switching between two near frames rather than just looking at the light table?
For now, while we kind of imagining and creating a fluid movement, I would suggest to not use a light table, because light table it's to track the volumes, track the where some like parts are placed. Maybe it could be useful for in-betweening if we would decide make, for example, now I'm working on tooth, like two frames between them, and then I will decide, okay, I think it's too fast, so I will put everything on 4, right, 4 frames, and then I will make in-betweens between them to make everything on tooth again. And then I will use probably a light table to understand volume from the next frame and from the previous frame and make in between them. So it's not that I'm not suggesting to work on that. It's just depend of the task. Sometimes it's helpful. Sometimes better to not use it, for example, in some cases, and then use it again.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Also, like be careful about tangents. Here, I'm trying to avoid putting, for example, this silhouette attached to the finger. It's better to have it slightly overlapped. Okay, let's check how it looks like now. Oh no, it's quite slow actually. I thought it could be slightly faster. For example, here I could make even it's on once to make it even like faster, and then make it slightly slower. So I want to make this, like I said, this part, because it came later, slightly be like slower and disappear slightly later. So I'm doing like that. I could, for example, yeah, I will just redraw it. So let's check, is it better? Yes, maybe here I would make it on 3s, just to make it slightly slower, and then it's fine. Okay, up to this moment, we have another part of animation. So you can see how it's a throwing this fire and it's starting to spread and it gets smaller. So what we have for now, we have like initiation, like our lighting effects and our fire effects just getting started. I'm not super happy about lighting effects. I will come back to that. I like more fire effects now. And then I will maybe coming back to this one. Yeah, I will make it slightly slower. It's too fast as well. Like compared to the fire, it's well balanced for now. I have this feeling, and this is slightly too fast. And this one could be over here. All right. No, it's moving just like very linear. I would suggest to not make it like that. I will put it slightly lower. It's not that interesting. Okay, it's just a little bit better. Okay, so what we have up to this moment. Okay, it's two almost the same like timing of the fixes, just 1 and 2, right? It's as they are equal. So and there is also between them like equal to the like timing the pose. I want to make it slightly closer to each other, so they will be combined. And now maybe I want to add some electricity to the fire. We can combine these two elements. Because why we started with the lighting and then we starting with fire, it just makes no sense. And this kind of guy, he has a magic potential and he can combine elements and it's fine. For example, here with the fire, I would, I will sometimes make some FX noises to visualize the effects. And now I'm trying to combine with the same rhythm, with the same timing. Here it's once everywhere, just to make exactly the same speed for lighting as a fire. All right, so here I have my reference again to the style of the lighting. I'm also trying to make nice combination of the particles with the hand, with the fire, to not make it messy, to be elegant, to have a nice silhouette to every particle, because silhouette in animation is one of the fundamentals when you're drawing. All right, and I will add some more here. So again, I'm putting this one only to have this impression that they are connected. All right. Let's check it again. Okay, it's slightly too fast and we don't see lighting, or maybe it's the silhouette is not clear. So I'm trying to do it again, slightly different, slightly larger, to not put everything together close to each other. All right, let's check it again. So everything, every time you have to check. No, it's too fast. Now the lighting is too fast and I will do it. Unfortunately, slightly different, not the same timing. I mean, not unfortunately, it's just to be better in this case. Yes, this is better. Okay. I'm not sure how fluid it's in your on your screen, Sonia. Is it fluid?
Yeah, for me it's fluent.
Okay, right. Because sometimes Zoom can eat some frames and it will be like very limited.
Yes, yes, I'm looking at the stream and this also works very well. So
all right, very nice. So now time for big splash. I'm not sure, does it, this approach and what I'm saying is, it feels logical and understandable, or it's some like, I don't know, like some magic words and nobody understand? What do you feel, Sonia? Is it feels logical?
Completely understandable, first of all, because I already took your courses and I already know what you're talking about. And I think that if guys, you're like watching it and not getting some words or like don't understand something, you can just write a comment or like write a question in the chat and we'll answer it. Right now, we also have a couple of questions in the chat, but they are mostly about different programs and like approaches and books. I can ask you right now if you want.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Maybe
okay.
maybe if you have some specific questions about what I'm doing now, it will be better. And this like books and softwares, I could answer slightly later to not interrupt the process.
Better. Like so right now we don't have any questions about the process.
Okay, nothing important, nothing interesting here. Right.
Hopefully they will ask some questions. So
I hope guys, don't be shy. So all right, now I'm starting to make some starting of the big explosion. And again, if someone like missed my beginning, I'm not 2D FX animator. I'm just explaining today the basics and the basic approach. I truly believe that people who really professionals and work in the studios and working doing like 2D animations, I mean 2D FX animations, they are doing that much better, much faster, maybe with much more interesting ideas. I'm just sharing my approach, my knowledge, because I mentioned already, like if you want to be a good animator, you have to understand how to do a fixed animation, because probably in the projects with maybe if you're trying to go in some action animation projects and so on, you probably will animate as well the FX. And you, Sonia, you now on the second course, right, in Gobelin?
Yeah.
And you didn't, or you started already doing some FX? No, not yet. It's
No,
next year, right?
our second year is like the first year of your program.
Of micro, yeah. So it will be your third year.
Yes, we are waiting for it impatiently.
Right. So I'm creating kind of vortex here that will create some fireball. I'm very curious, does somebody from the stream is currently studying in my school, on my course? I'm just curious. If you are, just let me know.
There are a couple of questions basically about the process.
Yep.
Not right now, but I think about the general process. Shep Pirazza, sorry, I think I will pronounce every name with a French accent because I'm learning French right now, so I think it will be more fun. I don't know. When you see a reference, what part do you focus on? Timing, shapes, or other things?
Everything. It depends. Depends what you're looking for. If you, for example, now I'm not looking. I mean, I do like with my drawings. I'm focusing on my spacing. My spacing like becoming my rhythm, because from the basics again of animation, you know that you can I'd say manage your timing only with the spacing, with the position of your animation in the screen. And now while I'm doing that, you know, like I'm flipping and I'm looking at my my positioning, it gives me impression of my rhythm. So now I, like in my references, I'm looking more about the style, about the how I should do my animation, how I should draw, or how I should move when like about the idea, let's say. It's too much.
Another question is from Pox Graphics. Do you think that sketching first some direction lines for the overall FX is going to impact the end result in a bad way?
No, it's, you could do some lines only and then put some elements and some volume on it. It's up to you. I never did it. I never did like lines, because it's like I would do twice animation, right? I would do a nice animation of the lines, and then I will do animation of the FX, because FX, it has different volume and different like I would say nature. It would maybe behave differently. So I'm not sure if it's a good idea to start with lines and then with the animation, with the elements, I mean.
The second question is from Andre Camillo. Is it possible to work on studios or projects doing only fixed animation?
Right, yes, it's what exactly I said. For example, on Arcane project, they, I mean, in Fortiche in general, they hire 2D FX animators, basically only for that. And probably in different studios, maybe in big projects, they also hire some people for only 2D animation. For example, in the feature films in France, they have like 2D FX supervisor who specialized only 2D. For example, like here, really last year, it was some movie that's called Sommet de Dieu. It's like I would say in Russian, or not Russian, in English, like God peak of the mountain. I'm not sure how it will be pronounced. So it's a feature film about the guy, about like journalist who is doing a document, for example, about the hiking. in the mountains, right? It's not hiking. It's called about people who mount the mountains, right? Who hike, but in the with equipment, with everything, like in the ice.
Like expeditors, right?
Yeah, I'm not. It's a different word, but it doesn't matter. For example, there is a lot of 2D animation of the snow, and it's super beautifully made, and it's supposed to be, because it's a feature film. It's a lot of things of that. You're supposed to know in animation effects very well. It's not like series. In a series, it could be much more, I would say, simplified, or people will not look at that very carefully, but it depends on the project. But in the feature film, it's like high league, and you're supposed to do a good job.
Mystical Artist asks, how good is Gobelins in animation?
For now, it's the best animation school in the world. I mean, like, 2D animation like school. It's not, I'm not saying like storytelling or I don't know, like storyboarding, but if you want to learn 2D animation offline, it's probably the best place. But in France schools, 2D schools, they are very good. There is some more like Atelier de Sèvres and so on, MK, I guess, but it's good. It's good. I'm not student anymore, so you can ask Sonia about that.
Yeah, so I would say that Gobelin is chef's kiss, because like right now I have learned a lot of stuff, like in this like half of the years, eyes opening, I would say. And I'm just spending about 10 hours to plus animating every day, even on weekends. So
It's the beginning of the Gobelin. It's always like that.
Yes, but that's great. I'm happy that it's finally happening. Yeah, also Alden Noble said that yes, they recently finished the second class of your course.
Okay, what's the name?
Alden Noel.
Okay, it's just it's
I think it's a nickname, probably.
It's nickname. It's nickname. Okay. Nice to have you here. Right. I'm not sure that's what I'm doing now. It will be the final result. We have some time to explore. I'm doing some lines that creates a fireball, but we'll see. It starts to explode. You can really feel the power and tension and the movement when you imagine that. It's better to not speak when you're doing such a things, to get the flow of the movements and not interrupt. So I'm trying my best. All right, so I have really a lot of reference, like in a TV Paint, some animation reference, some just pictures. So I'm trying to bounce between them and get the best of that. Okay. So you can see how it's forming from the small things, everything around attaching, like it's kind of fire getting from the air, like magic, like forming the huge fireball, and then it's just exploding forward, it's going forward. You can see that I did some inner forms that can create some better volume of that, just not animating the silhouette, but more profound, more in like I'd say in the volume. And every frame, every part supposed to move with some arc. You you cannot move just forward and backward. If you're moving forward, you're supposed to move forward. It's impossible to make. For example, look here, this part was here, right, of the ball, but we also have this one. So next one, boom, it's going around, right? It's going on the left. Next one is going on the right slightly, but we have this one, so it's combining and also creating the slightly bigger spacing. But still, it's just I created like a huge ball, and now this huge ball is starting to move on the right here. So like this movement on the left, it's like an anticipation before my forward movement. But usually you cannot move just backward, forward. It will be weird. So I'm creating a huge like ball of the fire. Now it could look like smoke, but they sometimes could be very similar. So to not have it like to not like look like a smoke, I should draw more like rough, like cutted silhouettes like that inside. And also color and everything like glowing. After all, it's gonna add some more understandability. here you can see that like here, this small guy is supposed to go forward, and then it could be here, and then it can be swallowed by huge this ball, but you're supposed to follow it to make it more like understandable arc and the movement as well. All right. And then I want to create like a huge, and now I can use my onion skin light table to understand the volume of my these volumes. I want to really create a powerful. I hope I have autosave. Yes, I do. Always save your animation.
Yeah, I had this experience when I lost all my work, just because my PC ran out of memory, and he was like, "I'm not going to save your work anymore."
Oh,
Why?
damn. Wow. Yeah, unpleasant. And now I'm also doing only roughs, right? It's not supposed to be clean yet. We're just exploring things. Don't be afraid to be messy if you need so. Now I can create just one little frame with the huge explosion that will cover all my screen. It will be on once, and then my power will be pull this old fire from me towards, and then it's going to be just wall of fire, let's say. And also try to be asymmetrical, not to make symmetrical like from two parts symmetrical silhouette. It's not that great. It's because nature is not symmetrical. Anything is symmetrical in nature. So you have to create something more asymmetrical, something more random. In real life, this character should supposed to be also animated because like this powerful how to say, like hit of the fire supposed to animate his shoulder and his arm, but it's stable because it's not our topic. So if our character will animate, it could be even more powerful. We could feel this hit. Some small particles as well.
So I have a question for myself again.
Right.
So while we are working on the fixed animations, we also have to think about the silhouettes, right? Because if the silhouette will be like symmetrical, it will be unnatural and strange.
Yes, of course. Yes. Feel free to ask you also your pretty personal questions about your feelings about what I'm saying. Don't be shy. If audience not asking, you are free to do that.
Okay, so I have another question. While you're working, you are like working straight ahead. So it's like straight ahead animation. And as I understand, while working at a fixed animation, it's not really important to track everything, right? You just have to track the general movement, because otherwise it can take too much time and still the result will not be like, even if you track everything, if you polish like every single line and look at every single bump of your fire, the result will be still the same, even like, I don't know.
No, it's important to track. It's important to track general things. Let's say, as you said, for example, general silhouettes. For example, here I created from the beginning this small hook. And to create credibility and the movement, I should create it over here. To follow, to come, to jump, to follow to this moment, right? Or for example, this thing, I should probably do some maybe a hole over here somewhere, just to have a pretext to cut something out. But we also have to pick the speed. It's important for example, here I have this inner part, right? To have it here, I have to create it over here already. So I have to track things, but in general, it's not that demanding from Animator to track like every small things as you're doing some slow animation, like settle animation with the character, or even with a special effects. Everything, if you're doing settle, it's require more tracking and polishing like volumes.
How do you do that when you are like selecting a part and turn it around, it doesn't lose the quality? Because when I do that in TV Paint, like it becomes very blurry. Like
When
the part
you transform.
Yeah, when I transform, I don't know what happens.
Yeah, you have to, while you're transforming, you have to put here a lensing none. These things damage your quality. Of course, your quality will be damaged anyway, but less without it.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. And I guess 11 TV Paint has a little bit better transforming quality than 10. 10 is just, when you transform something, you just boom, it's blurring and you have to redraw it. Especially when you work on the small silhouettes, on the small resolutions. Right. So what I have, let's check what we created here. It's slightly with a like weird rhythm, so we have to fix it because I didn't check anything. I mean, I didn't check any rhythm over here, and here it's a weird thing. It's just too fast, so I have to create another frame. Not here, but here. So I'm fixing spacing because sometimes it was too fast. For example, this one is creating from nowhere. It's weird. Yes, okay, that is better. Now this one is just bopping out from nowhere. I have to also create some particles, maybe from here, you know, from the far to make it fluid, right? So here everything's supposed to be on tooth. Everything. Here it's okay. This one, and here it should be once, and this on tooth. Okay, let's check now. Okay, this is better, but to make it like to make a better build up anticipation, I would. Okay, here is supposed to be much closer. Yes, closer again. Maybe it could be on once. Yes, much better. Again, yes, too much, too big. Maybe I can make it slightly different. I can make a duplicate, because here is super long finishing of one animation and then beginning of another. So I will cut it here and then cut it here and put it closer. Right. Yes, okay. Boom. Okay, up to this moment for now. All right, so to build up slightly more, I would slowing down over here. Yeah. I will make it very rough, because I was trying to make it very pretty from the beginning, but now I will do it rough. All right. And then, yes, okay, let's check. 4. Okay, slightly better. What's like why I did that? Because I wanted to create the bigger anticipation, the bigger this ball before it's throwing out, but it's still not perfect, because I should push it slightly forward every frame, like here, but very slow. It will be very slow, but moving forward. Like it's pushing something very heavy, like it's pushing, and then it's slowly speed up, like accelerating, and then it's just like a train starting get move faster and faster. Right, okay. And maybe this one is unnecessary yet here. Right, let's check. Yeah, this is better, slightly better. And this one's supposed to be 2, I think. Yes, now it's better. Okay, now I will make it slightly more pretty. We're almost done, actually. I will just add more, slightly more effects of the lighting, and that's it.
So there is a question in the chat about the process.
Yes.
Hatserai Kun asks, and if I push the anticipation in the opposite direction right before the big boom, would it be a right approach in this case?
Yes, it could be. For example, I'm also doing it like a little bit because this when he push here in the middle, because this ball is not that fast, that light, it's going slightly around, and it can create this impression that it's going backward, but only if you're doing it like slowly. For example, it's going there and then it's going there and then again on forward, like with this arc, it will work. It's what I'm trying to do now. I'm creating, look, it was moving forward, right? It was here, now it's here. Then it's going backward. For example, I could make some slowing down here, and then again, it's like huge jump, a huge pump, like there. Yes, like that. Maybe even this, put these things even more here. Yeah, and just let's add some more frames in this this wall of fire. Yeah. Actually, I can make some cycle over here. So I'm creating a new layer, also red, because it's with the fire. And just based on that image, I will create several, like 3 more. Very fast. I will do it only on like a 3 frames. I will see. I will check if it works. If it does, I will keep it like that. If it's not, we could make more, slightly more. And I will loop it. Yeah, it's not working that perfectly because it's super clear that it's looped, but just to speed up slightly. It works like that. And here I can finish this small particles. And then I will add slightly more. Right. So let's check. And here I will put slightly more like this. Right, it's working. Just slightly more of the lightning, and it will be done. So it's not enough time to draw some smoke and so on, but it was pretty close to smoke animation. Just like difference, it's like I used this more rough and sharp edges, but smoke, it will be slightly more. It depends, it could be also sharp, but it will be more soft. So just more. Okay, this one. Okay, I will open my reference with the electricity. All right, and I also will make some loop animation. So let's check how it works. Okay, this is like electricity that doesn't work because it's still not enough frames in the loop. I think I will not make it in a loop. I will just finish it slightly. I also think about the thickness and the rhythm of the line. So it's supposed to also have some around the arm. Can be bigger in some cases. All right, and last one. I can copy actually from here. Okay. It's also very rough, and it's just an idea of how it's how it could be. And when we, for example, will add some more volume and some glow and so on, it will be even more. And if character could be could react as well, it will be even more powerful. So it was just a quick example how to approach this like 2D FX, and how to think about your idea, how to explore, how to adapt, how to change, how to like change your mind in the process, for example, make it slightly different. And so it was my basic approach how I could would start working with this specific task. Voila. Do you have, I mean, can we make some 2 minutes pause and then, for example, answer questions? Yep. I will keep, for example, I will keep animation and just disappear for 1 minute.
Не, он просто сейчас говорит, что перерыв 2 минуты и будут вопросы. Проблема, похоже, завис стрим. Ребята пишут, у меня стрим идет, а люди пишут, что все зависло у них в Ютубе.
Okay, so do we
I
have
think
any
we are going
questions?
to check for the problem solving, because right now it seems that the stream is frozen.
All right.
I don't know why. So, okay. Like about 6 guys wrote about it and I don't understand. Oh, okay. So hopefully it works. And we can just go to question session, right? Like Q&A.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so guys, if the stream is still frozen, please write in the comments. I don't know. Okay, hopefully it works. And now we are going to the like general questions. Then there were questions about the education, and basically that's it. So the first question was by Lily, and she asked, "What do you think about Procreate for animation, like as animation tool?"
It's on iPad, right?
Yeah, Procreate iPad.
Yeah, I think it's a nice tool to be portable, to make some animations just to maybe have fun, or maybe you could manage to work with that. But usually in the work studios, they need the files like when you send to have a review or something. So it's probably no studios in the industry that who work in a Procreate in a professional way. So I would suggest to learn in some specific program, software where you want or will work. But to have fun, or like an option, like optional, like how to say, temporary like option, it works. I think it works pretty fine.
Like for myself, I would add that there is a better app for iPad. It's called Rough Animator. I haven't used it by myself, but guys who work on iPads told me that it's more handy because it has layers of animation. In Procreate, you are not able to have like multiple layers. Basically, your layers of Photoshop, like Procreate is like the thing which resembles Photoshop a lot.
Yeah.
And your layers are basically your frames, and it's very difficult for me to manage the time and stuff. So I wouldn't really recommend it for some serious things. It's better
Yeah,
to
only for fun.
TV Paint or some other tools?
Yeah, because if you want to be professional and you're trying to create something more complex, it's much more difficult to do so in Procreate from Sonia's words.
Yes. So next questions. What are the best exercises to start animation? Bouncing ball and stretches? Joan asks.
Yeah, basically it's to start animation, it's better to start from the foundations, who will explain 12 principles. It's like bouncing ball. It's a principle of timing and spacing. It's a principle of stretch and squash. So it's very important foundations. And if you're really starting from like to do animation, just 1 week or like several hours to doing that could help you understand what we will do here. For example, today I did animation of the FX of the ball of the fire, right? But basically it's the same ball, just like a falling ball, like bouncing ball. It's like with acceleration, exactly what I did today, but in more complex form. So if some students when applying their portfolios, they applying for second course directly sometimes, and I really don't recommend that, because in the first course we learning so much. It's the most loaded in terms of information course, that if you will start from the second, you will lose a lot. And if you're already experienced and you have like, for example, knowledge about animation, it's still better to start from first, and accept that while animating bouncing ball, you could animate something more complex. For example, the cutted head in the fire, or I don't know, something more like complex, like a Pokeball that when bouncing, creating some Pokemon, for example, and throwing like them out for every bounce, for example. And you can make it more complex and have fun still on the first course. We have so great like with a huge potential students on the first course that clearly had experience before, but they still came and have fun and starting something new, more complex, that probably people on second course will get only, but they started it from the first course. And it's like additional way to practice, to polish your information, because every single teacher has their own approach, their own method, and we aiming in this school for the highest results, because we're creating the how to say artist for the industry. We're not like having fun. I mean, we have fun here on the course, but it's not only our I would say goal to have fun, to have nice spending time, like laugh together, something. No, we are in the school because this course, this school is named like a school. We preparing like a Gobelin for the industry, and a lot of students from our school is working or studying or continue they continue their own path in offline schools, for example, as Sonia. And I really recommend consider first course, for example, to start from the basics, and if you're already experienced, to make it even more cool. So again, bouncing ball and stuff, it's very good. You can find 12 principles in the internet and get the answer like where to start from there.
Yeah, thank you for the great answer. Next question is by Ilya Bunic, and he asks, can you give some book, YouTube channels recommendations for those who knows barely nothing about animation?
First of all, is I mean, I don't want to have a commercial here or something, but our school's YouTube channel We have always some feedbacks from cool animators, some tips, some reviews, and every 4 months we have these free lessons, so you can start from there. Also, I could recommend Aaron Blaze, for example, or Tony Copantoya, or today I mentioned another guy. I don't know him very well, but he is doing quite a lot of tutorials on the YouTube about the dynamic animation, the fixed animation. Like he's making tutorials like a Sakuga, like his name is Howard Wimshurts. I will show the screen is better. So he's quite famous, I guess. And yeah, you can learn from them, and follow also like Instagram artists, and just get inspiration from them, and try to do your own animation. It's only way to make animation, it's practice. To learn animation is practice.
Next question is by Arman Lakka, and they asked, what will you suggest for people who want to improve their timing in animation? I don't remember if I asked this question, but probably not.
No, not yet. Timing, I would recommend analyze a life, basically, because timing in animation, it's basically representation of our life, right? For example, like I said, in the second, we have 24 frames, right? And when we're animating something, for example, character is standing up. I mean, like he was sitting, right? And then he is standing up from the chair, and you can track, you can use your phone, the clock, right, to count how many seconds you do so, right, and transfer the seconds to the timing, to the animation, and you will understand how much time you need to do that or that. And of course, in animation, we tweak reality. Yeah, we're not doing like rotoscoping, we're not doing the same timing as we're doing it in real life, but it's a representation. So if something is some action requires some, for example, half a second to raise your cup, you should also kind of follow that timing in animation, because if you will not, people will not believe in your animation, because animation is life. On the screen, you're creating life, and people should believe in that. So this is the first advice. And second advice, it could be useful to analyze animation. Pick some shots, some sequences from animators that you like, and put them in a TV Paint or another application, and look frame by frame and count how many frames they put between this or this frame, and why here is ones, why here is twos, why here is threes, why here is 7 or 8, for example, like a pose, and just make some notes and try to understand why this pose should be that long, or it should be that slow, for example. It could be also very important and useful. Or for example, when you do some copy of someone's animation, it could be also useful, because you're not just looking and counting, you're just repeating and putting the same timing. It could be also useful.
Yes, the next, it's basically a note Simon Herrera Sierra made while watching our stream. Like, making sounds is an important part of the creative process, which is true.
It's true.
Then they asked a question like, you guys have any experience in 3D?
Only in Gobelins, we did some acting but my acting in 3D was super small, super short, and it's definitely because I'm more about 2D animation. And we did some movement with obstacles or walk cycles in the 3D, but me personally, nothing else. But my colleagues, from my classmates, some of them had more experience in the 3D.
Okay, next question is by Ketemenko. Question for Sophia. Have your classes been online or in person? I think it's about Gobelin.
Yeah.
And if they have been online, how is the quality of the teaching? Our classes this year have been completely in person. And I would say that Gobelin is definitely a school which is in person. And it's very difficult for them to make the classes online because, for example, yeah, in the beginning, I had some problems with getting my visa, so I had a couple of classes online. The main problem is the teacher is projecting the board, they're drawing some stuff, but at the same time, in the same room, the teacher is showing some acting stuff, they are like showing the movement, and it's very difficult for them to do this acting in front of the camera. So basically, the most full experience is being in the class and observing the teachers in real life, because they cannot get on the camera while showing like walk cycle principles and stuff. So
But again, it seems not that online studying it's bad. It's just they not used to doing that. And yeah, because I would not say that no, it's impossible to learn animation. No, it is. But Gobelin is it's like 60 years old establishment, right? And they always teach offline in a real like old school way. And that's why people, not everyone, or even students, they not get used to be online, and they not pay for be online, right? They pay so much to be in presence there, and that's why online schools, they so cheaper compared to offline schools, because you don't have to be in like, they don't have to rent anything, they don't have to rent the time and like transfer of the teachers and so on. That's why it's counts so it's cost so much.
next question is by Christy Capri, and she asks, do you also have constant back pain and arms pain? Because I do. Yes.
Back pain. What does it mean?
Like pain in your back, because like
pain
suffering.
Right. It's very important question in these days. Very important, especially when we like in confinement and so on. First of all, it's the posture. It could be funny to say, oh, you have to sit straight. And your posture, it's your how to say, like how you sit, that's how you feel, right? So for example, if you see it's very curved, yeah, you probably will have some pain or something like uncomfortable feeling. If you think that it's comfortable, with time you will have, for example, some focusing problems or something else, right? If you sit straight, your body is more like open and muscles not that tense. I know that if someone, for example, sits like that, like a long time, it's also pain in the back, right? But if you do some practicing, or if you like with time, it gets much easier, and by the reward, you will not have that much pain. And the second thing, you have to mount your Cintiq or your tablet. I mean, if you work with a non-screen tablet, it's good because you look forward. But if you have Cintiq or something, you have to mount it as high as possible. I mean, like close to front of the eyes. For example, here I have a mount. I mean, I have a stand. I mean, and my Cintiq is not that low. Also, I use my chair to be as close as possible to my Cintiq, to not go down, or and to have this not protection, but how to say, to support my back, to not go down, I just be straight. And also some of my teachers from Gobelins said, drink a lot of water, not because it's healthy, because you have to go a lot of to the toilet. You have to move. You have to stand and just like this 1 minute 30 seconds. It's just healthy, not to stand, not to sit 3 hours or more in front of the computer.
Yeah, it's like my walks are usually just from my home to my school, and then from my class to the toilet. It's like what I have every day. That's
Yeah,
it.
so you have to move. For example, I really recommend, if it's possible for you, to have some messages, to have some like maybe for the arm. For example, my friend, he has a problem with the arm now, and with the elbow, because of the posture, because he looks always down. It's a horrible. Like, listen to yourself. Always adapt your place to have more comfortable. For example, buy you maybe better chair or something, table, like everything, because your health is the most important thing that you have, and you have to be careful about that. Maybe you are young, like maybe like 18 years old, and you're lucky to be quite healthy. But in the future, when you will be 40, it will be noticeable that you did something wrong. So be careful about that.
Mhm. Then there is a question from Fangay. Is there a difference between animating in ones or twos and animating in frame rates?
Frame rates, I'm not sure what do you mean. Like animating frame rates, like you put in like 12 frame rates or something. Different, the biggest difference between ones and twos, it's time consuming. When you're doing animation once, it's consume twice time, twice your time, right? So that's why first feature film from Disney was, how does it call in English? Snow White, and it was on once, and they were almost bankrupt after this movie because it was so time consuming. They decided, okay, how we can make it less expensive. So they check animation tools, and they had almost no differences between that. Everything was smooth anyway. So they keep tools now, like in general, and it works. And it's now in the modern industry, we try to be as fast as possible. So we sometimes animating even on 4s, on 6. We trying to be very smart where to put your timing, like to make 2s on 3s or 4th, and to be as fast as possible, to have as best quality as you can, and to save money. So when you're animating, it's better to plan everything, like 5 keys with like 12, 6, 4 frames between, and then plan your in-betweens, plan your breakdowns, where you want to put them to be as efficient as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I see here in the chat Andrew Sharp. Hello, Andrew. Andrew, it's my student from the first class.
Okay. Next question is again from Simon Herrera Sierra. Do you listen to music when you animate?
Yeah, always. I can't watch anything except listen music. It disturbs me. If I watch something, I cannot. Or if I'm doing something very boring, like clean or something, I can watch some reviews on something, right? But in general, it's just music if I want to be fully concentrated. Sometimes I'm so concentrated that music even starts to bother me, and I'm just stop it and to really 100% be sharp. But then I just turn it on again and move on.
Okay. Lily asks, is it important to study animation in college or university, or self-studying courses like yours are enough?
It depends. It depends how motivate you are, how much time do you have, um, how fast you can learn, for example, because usually offline schools, they like 3-5 years, right? They take a lot of time. Here we have like full course, it's 1.5 years, and we have everything. Of course, it's compared to Gobelin, it's not enough practice maybe, but it's super intense, right? So while you studying Gobelin, you understanding, you growing up basically, right? You're growing like 5 years of your life. It's a lot. So you deciding what you want to do, you talking to people, you growing up with them, you spending time in school, you learn from others. So it's this like pluses. But here in school, an online school, it's super condensed, it's super on point. It's nothing that you can avoid, just if you prefer to have intense education in a short amount of time, and then like start to work, I think it's the best, just to qualify, just to get some knowledge very fast. If you want to really spend a lot of time and go again to school, Gobelin is a good option as well.
Okay, then Rosie Zaharyeva says, is it just me or does Edward look a little bit like PewDiePie? I
Who?
think it's funny to read.
I don't know.
Probably, yes. I think it's just Beard. Beard? Beard.
Bird, bird. What does it mean? Who is that? I don't know.
PewDiePie is like the most famous YouTuber ever.
What?
He had like about 100
I'm
million
not.
subscribers. Like he's a gamer guy. He's very
Okay,
famous.
I'm not following like a lot of things on YouTube. Maybe if you send me a link, I would check and and say what I think about that.
Okay, so then Alden Novel says, well, I think if Edward remembers my second exercise with tales of Elethrion characters, he'll understand who I am. Also, today I've posted my demo reel.
All right. Okay. So yes, I definitely know who he is.
That's great. Yeah, looking for. Yes. Oh, Andrew Sharp asks, hello, Edward. Do you ever use the lasso tool, lasso fill tool for FX?
Yes, it's a great tool actually. I used to use that. Now I prefer with line, but it depends of the task. And yeah, but some of the some of the animators, they use just like not lasso. It's in TPaint, it's called field stroke. So it's like a lasso, but it's like immediately coloring what you're selecting. It's a great tool and very fast. You can do animation very fast with that. But now I prefer to work with line. I don't know why. It's just maybe how to say, like in your life you have several periods, so this period is line period. I don't know.
Okay, then again a question by Rosie Zaharyeva, and she asks, the task for next time is what exactly?
Right,
Okay,
it's a good question.
Animation, but are there more requirements?
It's a good question. So you don't have to put any character. It's not important to have the same animation. It's not important to have exactly what I did. You could do anything you want, but I will look only on a fixed animation. So think that it's your main character, a fixed animation, right? You could check only one, or fire, like smoke, or even clothes, like the wind. It's also a fix, right? So you could do that as well. So try to pick this affix that you prefer and want to check to try to make, and yeah, so it should be with this resolution. like full HD, basically it's 9020 per 1080, 24 frames per second. And if you don't have TV Paint, please export in a MOV or MP4 file and send to the link where like it's a Google Drive link, I think, below, and or TV Paint file. If you have TV Paint file, it could be fine as well. Right.
Okay. Next question is by Lawrence Paul, and they say, I was animating a dance movement on 24 FPS. I had to change to 60 FPS to make the movement smoother. How do I budget my frames next time so that the animation is smooth in 24 FPS?
You should think about if you want to make animation smooth, it should be slower, for example, right? Or if you want to make it fast, maybe you should put like once, right? But it's a rare, how to say, rare moments. Usually we learn here on our school how to make smooth animation even on tooth. What you should like use, like what approach to have smooth animation with limited amount of frames. No one will use 60 frames per second. It's just like suicide to work in the industry on with that amount of images, because it takes too much time. So you really have to be careful about where to place what frame and what timing to use. So it's just a knowledge about spacing, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a couple of more questions. Vita SPB asks, hi Edward, Sophia, guys. Edward, could you tell us more about your own kind of project you are doing besides your main work? If possible, of course.
It's not possible, unfortunately. What I can say, it's just I'm not working in La Cachette since May 2020. 21. No, now it's 22. And I'm working on my own project that it probably could be potentially like a series. But I don't know how it will be. Now we, like in a team, we're working on a teaser, and I will pitch it later this year. It's a lot of things unknown now, right? So I have to create a teaser. We have to create a teaser. We have to pitch it to some studio, and then to pitch to another. So it's a long journey, and a lot of things unknown. So fingers crossed. And then I will work again in some studio in some cool projects, I hope. So I will keep you updated.
Okay, thank you. Next question is by a host. When FX animation come into the process of animation in post-production, or in the same time of character animation?
Right, again, when FX animation, right? FX animation, basically it's in the same stage as production character animation, because I mean, sometimes it's after character animation, but it's still in the production, because you have to draw animation, right? If something require, for example, After Effects, it's post-production, because you can make it in After Effects in when you're doing compositing, right? But usually it's a production, and it's in the same time as character animation, or just right after. For example, when I was doing shots for Primal, I was doing both character animation and FX animation, and I couldn't send my shot like to qualify to have it done without FX animation. It's supposed to be done at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Again, a question about the assignment for next time by Rosie Zakhareva. She asks, is it okay to send more than one animation?
Sure. Sure, why not? And I will pick probably the best and sell and give the feedback on that.
Okay, so right now we don't have any more questions in the chat. So guys, if you have something to ask, you can do it now. Or we already past 2 hours, so
Yeah.
it's probably the best to end the stream. Okay, waiting for 1 minute.
Yes, and I want to just say thank you guys to come here and watch our stream. It's been a pleasure, like as always. And just if you're curious about our past masterclasses, you can just follow our YouTube channel and check videos below. And I have announcement about our new meeting this February. It will be with amazing animator from the Line Studio from London. It will be Amanda, and we will talk about industry, about the Line Studio, about working with Riot Games, and she will give her feedback for our best students, because we have privilege to invite professionals for our best students who passed all 4 classes and get the best results, best scores, because we have scores in our school.
We now have 2 more questions. One from Anatoly Smirnov. He says, "Hi Edward, thanks for sharing your knowledge with us. Have you tried Blender's grease pencil tool for your FX or character animations? If you do, what do you think about it? The workflow feels good? It's basically about Blender."
Me personally, I didn't try it. I know that it's amazing and very useful, but I didn't try, unfortunately, yet. I'm more concentrated on my approach in my project and projects where I'm working. But I know that a lot of studios and just use it. For example, in France, it was last year or 2 years ago, I'm not remember. It was the movie that now on Netflix actually, that's called I Lost My Body. And it was made also in the 3D, and they use Blender to make it look like slightly more like 2D as well.
Okay, next question is by Cherry Animation. Is learning acting to references important to go on the special courses, or is it okay to train animation only using videos from internet?
It depends. It depends what you want to achieve. If you want to just understand better how acting works, what it is acting, and to understand the idea, it's enough, I think. But if you really want to deep dive into that specific task, like how to make acting, how to act, how to like transfer the emotions, because acting about emotions, it's better to have someone who will explain to you, and the process will be much faster if you will just search knowledge and try to feel how to do it right. It will be not that time consuming, of course.
Okay, so we got the same question. I see. Okay. So
I think it's I think it's just like the better explanation.
Okay. So yeah. As always, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel of the school, because there are lots of different useful streams, not only about like master classes, but also there are lots of industry professionals coming and sharing their knowledge for free. And it's a great opportunity for you to learn and understand which course or like which direction you would like to go next.
And also check Sofia's YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's I mean it's a YouTube channel about how to get to Gobelin, right? And ColorArt as well. Or it's many more.
Mostly about colors, I would say,
colors.
right now. But yeah, if you have any questions about Gobelins and colors, you can just write me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you.
See you next week.
And get to the courses. yeah, so go and study and progress in your work, and like good luck.
Thank
So
you.
okay, I think that's it, and goodbye. See
Bye-bye.
you guys.
Bye-bye. Hello everyone, this is Animation School. My name is Edward Kurchevsky, and I'm professional 2D animator based in Paris.
Bobby, would you care for a piece of pie?
I studied animation over 10 years in one of the top schools in the world, and now I'm ready to share my knowledge with you. In the past 4 years of teaching, my students achieved remarkable results and working in studios like Cartoon Salon, Cachette, studying in schools like Gobelins School of Images and CalArts.
I'm not sure what we've got here, Charlie. But if we've got what I think we've got something.
Our goal is to prepare qualified professionals in a short amount of time during our intense course. We are here to also create a bridge between you and studios and help you find your first professional position in industry. Online studying became one of the most important parts in worldwide education system, and I am pretty sure with us you will achieve great results. Good luck!